Well, hey everybody, how's it going? It's Chuck Taylor with the Taylor Shop coming at you again with another vlog. And this vlog, I'm going to talk really quickly, I promise you this one will be quick, about photos. And more importantly, photo taking. Now, you know as well as I do that the most important tool in your truck is your camera. And in these days, it's your smartphone. But the bottom line is, if you're going to get paid, if you're going to justify either your bid or the work you're getting done, of course, you have to take photos. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, no shit, Chuck, we gotta take photos. Here's why I'm making this video. It's about the amount of photos you need to take. Let's be clear on one thing. I understand you are trying to justify your work and your bids. However, taking 2,000 photos for an initial secure, unless it's the Playboy Mansion, is ridiculous overkill. Really. And the reason this is important is because not only does it take a lot more time in the field to take an excessive amount of photos, but when it comes to processing, it takes an extraordinarily amount of time to process orders that have a lot of photos in them. Now, I have guys try to justify it every which way. Now, here's first. If you're one of those guys out there taking photos of placards, I'm sorry, you need to stop that. Because if you take the proper photos and you provide proper documentation and to go along with the photos, then there's no reason for placards and all that stuff. Because what that does is that adds more photos. Now, you're probably saying, what's the big deal? A lot of photos, so what? Well, listen, I'm not afraid of photos, and we here at the Taylor Shop aren't afraid of photos. However, there are certain websites out there, some large servicing companies' websites, that when you get over 500 photos, their sites run terrible. They're horrible, they crash, they lag, and in fact, I've been informed by some IT guys in said companies that you shouldn't be over 400 photos. If you go over 400 photos on an order, you're just asking for problems with the processing. So, I have guys try to justify that any which way possible, why they got to take so many photos. But let me tell you, I've been in the field and I know what it's like to document a duplex, a fourplex, and all that. And believe me, even if you're documenting a fourplex in the middle of, say, Detroit, you don't need 1,500 photos to do it. Trust me on this. Every room should have 6 photos. Stand in each corner of the room, take a photo, ceiling, floor, done. That's 6 photos. You don't need 50 photos of a room. You don't need to take, the other thing that the guys take is they take photos and then they go and move like a centimeter and take a, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because for one, that's just creating more confusion for the processors. Now, also, again, it's taking you more time. It's taking you more memory on your phone. It's going to take you more data to send those photos. So it's costing you money. It's costing you time. Now, when it comes to the processing, of course, it's going to cost you more because we have to process. I've done secures in some of the worst neighborhoods. Processed orders, I mean. And Detroit. Let's take Detroit. I just mentioned Detroit. Let's say it again. Detroit's obviously got some of the worst properties out there for documentation. I'm sorry, but an initial secure on a Detroit property, you should not be going over 400 photos. And under any circumstances. Because for one, those properties aren't that big. And for two, you just shouldn't. Because you should be able to document and be very clear with under that 400 photo range. So my thing is 400 and below. You need to keep it there. Now, I'm not talking REO, because REO, you do a lot more work. You do trash outs in addition to, I'm talking property preservation orders. You need to be able to limit your photos because, again, being efficient in the field is in conjunction with the processing of your work orders, for companies like us. well, the only company really that you should even consider, which is the Taylor Shop. But bottom line is, the more photos you take doesn't necessarily guarantee you any any security. The bottom line is, you need to be taking the correct photos of and documenting a property properly. So yeah, there's no reason. We've seen it time and time again. We see some people that send 1,500, 1,600, 2,000 photos for a secure. I'm not talking like a 500 cubic yard trash out. And even with that, you don't need that many photos. And I'm not telling you not to do something to run the risk of a chargeback or nothing like that. Believe me, I've been doing this 15 years. I know what I'm talking about. And you really need to keep your photos low, because it's going to save you time in the field. It's going to save us processing time, and that's going to be able to have you get more work orders done, and our end more work orders processed. And that's fundamental for growth and expansion. So I just wanted to put that in you guys' ears. I've been seeing some new guys come through, and they're just taking a ridiculous amount of photos. Yeah, you don't need the placards. You don't need to take 1,000 photos. It's not going to do you any good. You have to be systematic when you're taking photos. And I'm not going to get into a whole taking photo process. This is more about the quantity of photos taken. I'm not saying to limit your photos to risk justification of the work. I'm just saying, make sure your photos make sense. And again, don't do the whole, move an inch and take a photo, because that confuses everybody. And if you take 17 photos of a hot water tank, the piping, now that's great to take a photo to show that it's intact. I don't need 20 photos of it, because now I'm thinking maybe there's something wrong. Should I be looking at, what am I looking at here? Am I looking at a problem or what? You just need to take a photo. And in this day and age, even with digital cameras, you can review your photos and make sure you got the photo, even before you submit it. So anyways, that's all I want to talk about real quick. Let's be sensible out there with taking photos. It's going to help you. It's going to help people like us. And again, if you're looking for the premier, the number one, the best work order processing in property preservation, then look no further than the Taylor Shop. Please give us a call. Go to our website, www.thetaylorshop.com, and have a look around, look at some other vlogs and see some things. We've been getting a lot of positive feedback, as to be expected, because when you're the best, really, all you're going to get is positive feedback. And I understand that, because we strive for 100% perfection. And because we're getting validated by some of the biggest servicing companies in this industry, well, I can tell you right now, that means a lot to us, and that just tells you that we're doing exactly what the servicers want. So if you're looking for that edge, if you're looking for that angle, reach out to us. We can help you. Remember, it's rough out there. We can help make it less rough on you. Take it easy. I'll see you again in the next video.